Turning 70 can be a truly wonderful gift. This time in our lives gives us a chance to look inward, using the wisdom we've gained to let go of the unnecessary things we've picked up along the way. Lots of us spend years gathering worries, promises, and stuff that don't actually make us as happy as we thought they would. It's like carrying around heavy bags, and now is the ideal time to put them down. This makes life feel lighter and less weighed down. Because life is short, we should concentrate on the important things. As we get older, we realize that real happiness is often found in simple things, not big displays or sacrifices. We can free ourselves from what other people think we should do and be who we really are without pretending or feeling obligated. Reaching this age helps us look inside ourselves instead of needing approval from others. By asking ourselves what is truly valuable, we can start letting go of things that don't matter anymore. This helps us feel more peaceful and calm. A happy and satisfying life doesn't have to be complicated or full of constant pressure and worry. It's totally doable to live a simpler life with fewer burdens. That's exactly the trip we're starting now, a road to a less weighed down and more free way of being. So, what things can we leave behind after age 70? In this exploration, we'll look at 9 parts of life you can let go of, helping you have a simpler, more purposeful, and more joyful existence. If this idea speaks to you, please like and leave a comment with the number 2 to show your support. If not, feel free to comment with the number 7. Let's begin this trip together towards more peace, understanding, and happiness. The first step is releasing the burden of what other people think. All our lives, other people's opinions can feel heavy, like they're pushing down on us. This can be pressure from family, criticism from friends, or even the unspoken expectations of society. We often twist, change, and mold our lives to fit into the boxes other people create. From a young age, we are taught to seek approval and strive to be good children, dependable friends, and successful workers. But imagine if we stop being so concerned about other people's opinions. By the time we are 70, we have lived long enough to understand that nobody else can determine our value. The only opinion that truly counts is our own. Think about how often you've made choices based on what other people might think, instead of doing what felt right for you. How many happy moments have you missed because you were afraid of being judged or criticized? Growing older has a wonderful benefit. It helps us see things more clearly. As we age, we realize that trying to make everyone happy is impossible. People will always have their opinions, but we don't have to let those opinions control us. We can choose to live according to our own beliefs and wants, without needing anyone else's approval. Think about how freeing it would be to stop worrying about whether others like your choices, your way of life, or even how you look. Imagine living each day confidently, knowing that your self-worth comes from within. If you made choices based on your own feelings instead of what others wanted, how would that change things for you? Share your experiences in the comments below. Your story might encourage others who are having a hard time ignoring what people think. This change in viewpoint is truly freeing. When we stop worrying about what others think, we take back control of our lives. We're no longer controlled by unseen expectations and can start living truthfully. Other people's opinions can feel like a heavy load, but letting go of that weight brings a feeling of lightness and strength. Let's talk about how not needing everyone's approval has changed your life. Another way to lighten your load is to let go of stuff. As we grow up, most of us realize that happiness doesn't come from things. But even so, we often end up with houses crammed with belongings, closets stuffed with clothes we don't wear, and garages filled with things we haven't touched in ages. At the time, getting these things might have seemed important, maybe making us feel safe or something else, but now they just clutter our lives. Perhaps we once saw our belongings as signs of achievement, but as we grow older, we understand that these things can begin to control us. Remember a time you were truly happy. It's unlikely that joy came from something you owned. Instead, it was probably connected to a special moment, time with family and friends, a personal accomplishment, or a peaceful moment of thought. This is because real happiness comes not from objects, but from experiences, connections with others, and the feeling of purpose we develop as we age. Now is a good time to rethink how we feel about our stuff. Is it really necessary to keep everything? We often hold on to things because of memories, but we can cherish those memories without being burdened by all the clutter. Getting rid of things we no longer use, like old clothes, gadgets, or extra furniture, can be very freeing. Look around your house. Are there things you're keeping just because you're used to them, not because you need them? What if you got rid of just one thing? Decluttering can create space, not only in your home, but also in your mind and spirit. It allows for new experiences, new happiness, and new peaceful moments. Think about how much lighter you'd feel living in a place that reflects who you are now, not who you were before. What's one thing you could get rid of today to feel more peaceful and clear-headed? Share your decision in the comments. You might encourage others to do the same. It's all about saying no to things we don't really need. Social obligations. How many times have you found yourself at a social gathering, nodding politely and making small talk when all you really wanted was to be at home, enjoying a quiet evening to yourself? For much of our lives, we feel a sense of obligation to attend social events, to say yes to invitations, and to maintain relationships that may not truly bring us joy. Whether it's out of politeness, duty, or habit, we often find ourselves spending time in places we'd rather not be, but after 70, we gain the clarity and confidence to prioritize our own needs and desires. We realize that life is too short to spend in situations that drain our energy or bring little value to our lives. It's perfectly okay to say no to social obligations that don't align with our true desires. In fact, saying no can be one of the most empowering decisions we make. Have you ever said yes to an event out of obligation, only to feel drained and unfulfilled afterward? What if instead you allowed yourself the freedom to decline invitations that don't resonate with you? Imagine how much lighter life would feel if you only said yes to the things that truly bring you joy and fulfillment. This isn't about isolating yourself or avoiding social interactions altogether. It's about being selective, about choosing to spend your time and energy in ways that nourish you rather than deplete you. When we prioritize our well-being, we become more present and engaged in the moments that truly matter. Every social interaction becomes more meaningful when we are fully invested rather than going through the motions. Out of obligation, what social obligations have you let go of? And how has it changed your life? Share your experiences in the comments. By giving ourselves permission to say no, we create space for the experiences and connections that truly bring us joy, for embracing authentic beauty, letting go of society's standards for most of our lives. Society bombards us with messages about beauty, what it should look like, how we should maintain it, and why it's important to strive for youthfulness at all costs. From magazines to television to social media, we are constantly reminded that beauty is synonymous with smooth skin-toned bodies and youthful features as we age. It's easy to feel pressured to fight the natural signs of aging, to cover up wrinkles, hide gray hairs, and pursue an unattainable standard of perfection. But what if we chose to redefine beauty for ourselves? What if we embrace the marks of aging, not as flaws, but as evidence of a life well lived? Every wrinkle tells a story. Every gray hair represents the wisdom we've gained over the years. Authentic beauty is not about conforming to society's narrow standards. It's about embracing who we are in all our uniqueness at every stage of life. Think about the people you find most beautiful. Chances are their beauty has little to do with physical appearance and everything to do with the way they carry themselves, their confidence, their kindness, their authenticity. As we grow older, we have the opportunity to embody this kind of beauty, a beauty that radiates from within rather than being defined by external features. Have you ever felt pressured to maintain a certain appearance as you've aged? How would your life change if you embraced your natural beauty rather than trying to conform to societal standards? Imagine the freedom that comes with accepting yourself fully, just as you are. Let's discuss how we can redefine beauty in the comments. By embracing our authenticity, we not only free ourselves from the unrealistic pressures of society, but also inspire others to do the same. Fifth, reevaluating activities that no longer bring joy. Life is filled with routines. Some routines bring us joy and fulfillment, while others feel like a chore, something we do simply because we've always done it. As we age, it becomes important to reassess how we spend our time. Are there activities that once brought us joy, but no longer feel meaningful? Are there hobbies or traditions we've outgrown, but we continue out of habit? After 70, we have the freedom to let go of the activities that no longer serve us. This doesn't mean abandoning everything we've built on or enjoyed in the past. It simply means making space for new experiences, new passions, and new ways of finding fulfillment. Take a moment to reflect on your daily routines. Are there tasks or activities that feel more like obligations than sources of joy? What would happen if you let go of just one of these activities? By reevaluating how we spend our time, we can create more space for the things that truly bring us happiness. Perhaps there's a hobby you once loved but no longer feel connected to, or maybe there's a social group or tradition that feels more like a burden than a source of joy. This stage of life offers the opportunity to try new things, explore new interests, and discover what truly brings fulfillment in this phase of life. What activities have you let go of, and what new passions have you discovered? Let's share our experiences in the comments. By giving ourselves permission to release what no longer serves us, we open the door to new possibilities. 6. Cutting ties with toxic relationships. Relationships are one of the most important aspects of life. They have the power to uplift us, bring us joy, and provide a sense of connection and belonging. But not all relationships are healthy or fulfilling over time. We may find ourselves maintaining relationships that, rather than nourishing us, drain our energy and create unnecessary stress. Whether it's a friend who constantly brings negativity, a family member who is overly critical, or an acquaintance who leaves us feeling depleted, these toxic relationships can weigh heavily on our well-being. After 70, it's time to take stock of the relationships in our lives. Are there people who instantly bring joy and support? Are there relationships that leave us feeling fulfilled and uplifted? And conversely, are there people who make us feel small, drained, or unappreciated? Walking away from toxic relationships is not selfish. It's an act of self-care. We deserve to be surrounded by people who value us for who we are, who bring positivity and light into our lives, and who support our growth. By letting go of toxic relationships, we create space for healthier, more fulfilling connections. Have you ever had to walk away from a toxic relationship? How did it feel to make that decision, and what impact did it have on your well-being? Let's share our experiences in the comments. By prioritizing healthy relationships, we not only improve our own well-being, but also set an example for others. 7. Letting go of comparisons. Comparison is often called the thief of joy, and for good reason. Throughout life, we are tempted to compare ourselves to others, to measure our success, happiness, and worth against those around us. Whether it's a friend's financial success, a neighbor's seemingly perfect family, or a sibling's accomplishments, it's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that someone else's life is better or more successful than our own. But by the time we reach 61, we've learned an important truth. Everyone's journey is different, and comparison only robs us of our own joy. Success doesn't look the same for everyone, and happiness cannot be measured by someone else's standards. Your life is unique, and your journey is your own. There is no one-size-fits-all formula for happiness or fulfillment. Imagine how much lighter life would feel if you stopped comparing yourself to others. What if you embraced your own journey with all its twists, turns, and imperfections? What if you celebrated your own accomplishments, no matter how small, rather than measuring them against someone else's? Have you ever struggled with comparisons? How have you ever struggled with comparisons? How have you? Learn to let go of the need to measure your life against others. Let's discuss how we can embrace our own unique journeys in the comments. By letting go of comparisons, we free ourselves to live fully and authentically. 8. Redefining goals. What truly matters now? When we are younger, we often set goals based on societal expectations or the dreams we had at the time. But as we grow older, some of those goals may no longer feel relevant. Perhaps you once dreamt of building a successful career, accumulating wealth, or achieving a certain level of status. But now your priorities have shifted. The things that once seemed important may no longer hold the same meaning at 70. And beyond, it's time to redefine what success and fulfillment mean to you. It's okay to let go of goals that no longer align with your values or desires. Instead, focus on what truly matters, whether it's spending more time with loved ones, pursuing a passion, or simply living with more peace and joy. What goals have you let go of, and what new aspirations have taken their place? Share your thoughts with us in the comments. By redefining our goals, we can live with greater intention and purpose. There is no need to hold on to outdated ambitions that no longer serve us. Instead, we can focus on the goals that bring us true fulfillment. 9. Prioritizing your own happiness without guilt. One of the most challenging lessons in life is learning to prioritize our own happiness without feeling guilty. For many of us, the habit of putting others' needs before our own has been deeply ingrained, whether it's caring for family, meeting the expectations of friends, or fulfilling work obligations. We often prioritize the happiness of others at the expense of our own well-being. But as we age, it becomes clear that we cannot pour from an empty cup. In order to care for others, we must first care for ourselves. Prioritizing your own happiness is not selfish. It's necessary. You've spent years giving to others, and now it's time to give to yourself what brings you joy, what makes you feel fulfilled. It's okay to put your own happiness at the top of your list. Have you ever felt guilty for putting yourself first? How do you balance caring for others with caring for yourself? Let's support each other in the comments. By prioritizing our own happiness, we become better equipped to care for them. People we love. After all, we can only give to others what we have ourselves. Embracing the freedom to live lightly. Life after 60. One offers a unique opportunity to live more lightly, more intentionally, and with greater joy. By letting go of the burdens we've carried for so long, whether they be the opinions of others, material possessions, toxic relationships, or societal expectations, we create space for what truly matters. We can focus on the relationships that bring us joy, the experiences that fulfill us, and the simple pleasures that make life meaningful. If you found value in this message, please like and comment with the number 2 for love. And don't forget to subscribe to Go Hard Journey to continue exploring topics that inspire growth, wisdom, and happiness. Let's embrace the freedom to live lightly, joyfully, and authentically as we move forward on this beautiful journey of life.